You mean to tell me Tom Brady is not playing his last dime as a New England Patriot? This has to be the biggest disaster in the NFL, in sports. Mr. Pick Six, Deuce Hill. Salute y'all for tuning in to Art of the Interception. Changing the world, one episode at a time. Let's talk about it. Coach Belichick, you have been carrying on for years upon years. Carrying on. Now you have gone too far. Literally too far. Man, I'm hearing Matt Patricia is a candidate for calling the plays. You mean to tell me Matt Patricia might possibly be calling the offensive plays for the New England Patriots this year? Wow. Salute, man. Hey, we're going to see how this works out, but hey, this is taking it too far. Like, somebody has to do something about this. Hey, man, but if you turn this into a success, you have to be definitely the greatest coach. But here's the truth. Tom Brady is the greatest player to ever play the game. Tom Brady should never had a problem in the win. He should have never felt a certain way. He should have never felt like he had to take a pay cut. He should have never felt like he had to bargain any deals. If he ever felt, and I know he felt, that something was going on, and maybe he was asked to take a pay cut, numerous times where he couldn't keep his receivers, Deion Branch, just to name one of them. The mistreatment of Tom Brady. He took a lot. Tom Brady, you took a lot, man. You took a lot. The New England Patriots should have given Tom Brady whatever he wanted. Whether it was a contract, whether it was a sign to certain players, whether he wanted his friends to be on the team. Tom Brady has won numerous games, championships, Super Bowls, and so on and so forth for the New England Patriots. You mean to tell me Tom Brady is not playing his last dime as a New England Patriot? This has to be the biggest disaster in the NFL, in sports, period. Why is Tom Brady not retiring a New England Patriot? Why is he not finishing his last game as a New England Patriot? Why is he not signing a big deal with the New England Patriots? And I'm sure it's not because of Tom. That's a problem. That's a big problem. So we got to stand up for something, man. Unless Belichick goes out here, like I said previously on another podcast, unless Belichick goes out here and shows all this nonsense he is doing works, and he goes win the Super Bowl, something got to give. We can't have the general manager, the head coach, as the same person making all these decisions that ain't benefiting nobody. Let's talk about it.
They do say Belichick is a defensive mastermind, though. He's still getting it done with it.
But what is a defensive mastermind? Like you said, everything is confusing because Tom Brady's there, so it looks like what he's doing is great. But Tom Brady is not there right now. So where's the mastermind defense at? We're waiting on it. We're going to see it. Where's the top 5 defense every year? If you're a mastermind, you should be a top 5 in every category.
All right, so Bill created Tom Brady, right?
Mm-hmm.
He drafted the man.
Yeah.
He had to make the decision to put him in the game when the boy got hurt.
He had to make that decision.
Okay.
He started the greatest player to ever play in NFL. So that makes Bill the greatest coach that ever coached, correct?
Well, first of all, Bill ain't create nobody.
He drafted him.
Well, first of all, Bill ain't create nobody.
He drafted him. He coached him.
Yeah, I mean, you get a little credit for that. You drafted him, you coached him, but I mean, it's a lot of players drafted and coached and being coached. He drafted a lot of people. But the one thing that can separate the argument about him drafting Tom Brady is he went to Tampa Bay with no practice during the pandemic year and still won the Super Bowl. So it's like, how much credit do we get for drafting this guy and putting him in the game? Because anybody else that would have drafted him definitely would have saw him.
So what are we saying about Bill? Are you saying he's not a good coach, or he's not one of the top 5 head coaches ever? Like, what are we saying?
No, I definitely think he's an average coach. That's the whole point of everything. He gets way more credit than he's supposed to and than he deserves. Because, like I said, what are we doing now? Matt Patricia is a candidate for calling the plays.
He's showing you that he can call the plays himself. He is the mastermind of the Patriots. He's showing you that I can bring whoever I need to bring over here, and I'm going to win games.
Games. Anybody can win games.
I'm going to win championships because he did it numerous times with Tom Brady.
Well, that's what we're waiting on, because that was the whole thing. You did this because of Tom Brady. So now we're waiting to see, and it ain't looking good. It ain't looking like any of these moves you making are moves that's going to help the team get back to championship level. You drafted the quarterback, Matt Jones. Yeah. It's still to see.
Quarterback.
It's still to see how good he can be. I think he's pretty good. I think he got potential to be very good. But if Josh McDaniels not there, the secret to a lot of that success, and then we got Matt Patricia possibly calling plays, or Bill Belichick possibly calling plays, now we're going into some issues. But we got to see how this is going to pan out, because this is sounding a little funny here.
So he got to win, basically.
At the end of the day, it's in the NFL. What have you done for me lately? If you ain't winning, if you ain't producing, if you ain't showing that you still the best, what have you done for me lately? Last season, no matter about this season. The Patriots, we went to the playoffs last year and lost the first round. Are we happy with that again? Going to the playoffs and losing after the first round? Or do we expect to get to the championship? Or are we going to get to the playoffs? If we don't get to the playoffs, what's going to happen in Patriots country? Is this what I'm talking about? When we're going too far, something has to be done. Something got to take place. Because if one of his players not producing, something's going to be done.
I mean, that scheme is incredibly cornerback friendly in the eyes of the average fan. Look what J.C. Jackson, Darrell Revis, yourself have done in it as well. What is your take on that? Why is he so successful in making corners look elite?
Well, like you said, it looks like from the outside looking in, from a fan point of view, that he produces corners and they come in there and it's a success. You have to realize there are a lot of corners. He's been coaching for 40-something years. Though there are numerous corners that he has coached. Now, out of 40-something years, of course you can come up on 1 or 2, 3 corners, you know what I mean? But J.C. Jackson and myself was the only probably 2 people that you named that was very productive. Darrell Revis wasn't that productive over there. J.C. Jackson, 8, 9 interceptions.
Ty Law.
Me, 10 interceptions.
You ain't forgetting, Ty Law was there.
Yeah, Darrell Revis had 2 interceptions. But Ty Law, of course, yeah. Ty Law, yeah, he was definitely a dog, and he definitely is a great player. He had, 9, 10 plus interceptions as a Patriot.
So he producing some elite corners is what he's saying over there.
I mean, it kind of looks like that from a standpoint of view, but if we look at Andy Reid, we're gonna say Andy Reid produces elite corners too? Or are you just gonna say he's not a defensive coach, so he don't get that credit? Are we gonna say that? Because we got Eric Allen, we got Troy Vincent, we got Lito Shepherd, we got myself, we got Sheldon Brown. I mean, just to name a four. We got Shannon Harris, shout out to 31. You know what I mean? So if you coach long, my point is if you coach long enough, you're gonna produce a player or two or three or four that's gonna show some greatness, you know.
All right, talking about Andy Reid, what do you think about the season he's gonna have this year?
You know, Andy Reid's a great coach. He always had the potential to win the big games and make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, what would you say you learned from Belichick then during your time with him?
Good question. Man, I think all the players, you know, a couple specific things we all learn. I think he's good at teaching discipline, basically getting what he needs out of his players, making sure we're on time, making sure, you know, we follow instructions the right way. And I think organizations he's pretty good at making sure the team's organized, meaning the play calling, you know, who needs to be on the field, off the field. And those little things really will help you win. You know, focus on those little things. The NFL is a game of inches. So, you know, those are some things. Discipline is the biggest thing I would say I learned from Belichick.
Why do you think so many people get brainwashed by the Patriot way?
I mean, I think it has something to do with maybe the talent he picked. Seems like he always go after people, you know, after they're at their peak of their career and they kind of on their way down, and he's kind of like giving them a chance. So when somebody's giving you a chance or you feel like giving an opportunity, you're gonna fall in. You're gonna go with the flow. You know, you're gonna kind of adapt to the situation because you feel like this is your opportunity for you. You're happy to be here. And, you know, I think that's how he kind of draft his teams and put his teams together. You know what I mean? That's just the way Belichick do it. But those things only work when you got Tom Brady. But let me tell y'all a funny story though. So I think I'm in my second year. My first and second year. Right? And every Monday, you know, mostly when you win or lose, you know, you only get a few days off. Mostly though. If you win, you're still there on Monday. So we're there on Monday. And Coach Belichick used to jab at me a little bit, used to mess with me a little bit. So I guess he understood me. So he probably knew about me more than I thought I knew. So he always asked the team questions about the next team we're about to play that following week. So we're about to play the Cleveland Browns. So we're in a team meeting, everybody's there waiting around. You know, that weekend just passed. We had a home game. I went to the club. We was hanging out. Went to a club called, I think it was Club Aria. So here we are. I'm at the meeting on Monday. Coach asked a few guys questions. He gets to Asante. Asante, what is the lake behind the Cleveland Browns stadium? And I'm looking like, what the fuck? This ain't football. Like, why do I fucking know the fucking lake behind the Cleveland Browns stadium? I'm not good at geography. I don't know. So I'm just trying to think. Everybody's whispering while it's like Aria. Everybody's saying Aria. So I said Aria. But they saying Erie. And I bust out, I said, Aria. And everybody busts out laughing. That's the club we just went to. And Coach Belichick laughed, walked right past me, swinging his little whistle, and laughed. But that's a Coach Belichick story for you. Mr. Pick Six here. I'm going to say what needs to be said, baby. Salute. We out.